This is a quick little video on creating a self-assessment with calculated problems. This is something I presented at the Village School about a month ago. So I created a quick question here. I normally do chemistry or physics, but I did a math one just to quickly check on this. And again, the first thing is I wrote my question, but it's a little long, so I'll just do the text wrapping. And here where the answer is going to be, this is where they would put in their calculated answer. I do put it answer in centimeters because I don't want them to write any units. I just want a numerical answer in this box. And this is where it's going to get checked if they did it correctly or not. So what I'll do is I'll right click in the box and I'll go to conditional formatting. You can also go up here, instead of right clicking, you can go up to format and pick conditional formatting. And what I do is, if they haven't answered it yet, here it says cell is not empty. I want cell is empty, and I want it to change that color. And this is where you can pick this fill color. So that's if they haven't answered it yet. Next, I'm going to add a rule. And since this is a numerical answer that they're going to calculate, what I do is, since it may not be exactly on their calculation what they might want, what I'm going to do here is if it's between. So if the answer is between, and in this case, my calculated value is 12.566. So I'm going to say if the answer is between 12.4 and 12.6. Then I want it to change to green. So that means that they did it correctly. So I'm going to say done. And now what I'm going to do is add another rule. And this is where you can add it there, or what I like doing is when I'm still working on this next one, instead of saying done, I can add another rule, and that way it keeps the previous information. And that way when it's is between, now I can change it to is not between, and this will change it to red. And now I'm going to say done. So in this case, if the cell is empty, it stays this light greenish color, whatever you want to call it. If it's between the values that I put, so if this is correct, it would be green. And finally, if it's not between those, it's going to turn red. So as a sample, let me say I'm going to put, I miscalculated and I got 11. You can see that it turns red, so the student would know that they did something wrong. So instead of having to come up to me every time and ask me if they did it correctly, now they can see if they did it correctly or not. And right now I'm showing this. I normally close it right there so they can't see that. So now if I put 12.3, still wrong because it's outside the range. So if I do it 12.566, it's in the range, and now we can see that we have it correct. And this is the way the students can check if they're doing it correctly. Somebody asked if we could put like a range to indicate if it's close to the correct answer. So let me go back into the conditional formatting. So here I can say, since I want it to be even closer, that they have to be really close to the answer. Let's say if it's between 12.5, let's say 3, and 12.58. So this way I can really check if they're within the range. And now I'm going to add a rule. So if it's going to be outside this range, so if it's between 52 and let's say 50, now we can change it to maybe a light green. So that way it tells them they're not right, but they're at least close. And then I'm going to do the other side. So if it's between, let's say 58 and 60, we'll change it to that light coloring. So we'll be done there. So now in this case, we can have one where it's correct, where it's completely wrong, and then two where it's actually close. So let's say we have 12.52. So it changes that light greenish color so they know they're close, but they don't have the correct answer yet. So I hope this helps.